What's going on, man? Got none other than Kenny Porter, man, father trainer and manager of two-time welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Showtime Shawn Porter. What's going on, Kenny?
Man, I wish I could say it was all good. My guy didn't win tonight, so I'm feeling down about that.
Yeah, man. He showed a lot of heart. He put a lot of effort out. But
it was a hell of a fight.
Right.
God bless both of them guys. They fought their hearts out.
Right, right.
They fought their hearts out.
Ultimately, do you just feel like Fury is just a better fighter, or is something that Wilder's missing tonight?
You know, I hate to be negative in any type of way towards, you know, a guy when it don't go our way. That's a part of boxing. But I saw him fighting with anger in the beginning of the fight. In the first round, second round, he's fighting with anger, and it wasn't allowing him to breathe correctly.
Right.
And I saw that, and I was like, he's not breathing right because he's punching from here, you know, from so much anger.
Right.
And that anger and that anxiety will take energy away from you, you know.
Right.
But, you know, other than that, you know, we looking at a guy in Tyson Fury who persevered, the punching power that Deontay displays against most guys. That would have took 99% of the heavyweight division out.
Right, right.
But Fury is able to come back from that. And not only is he able to come back from that, but he's got a long amateur career that allows him to be able to weather that storm and be focused and be sharp with his punches. He was also a strategy that I thought he was using was the body weight.
Right.
Weighing down on Deontay. Also in the clinches, he's holding him in headlocks.
Right, right.
Cutting off his circulation. I mean, he's doing a lot of things that Deontay wasn't able to offset because of the weight difference, the body weight, and he's got to carry this heavy guy for 12 rounds. It's a lot to ask of anybody.
Now, what do you see, D? What advice would you give him going forward, and what would you want to see next from Tyson Fury?
I don't know, but I hope this little Gypsy King don't kick me over here. What's up, buddy? How you doing? All right. You know, right now, I'm from that coaching standpoint. Just go home, heal up, relax, get back to the family, and let everything else be secondary. Family be first, and get healthy. You know, and family be first right now. But I know he can come back. I know he can win. I know he can be a world champion again. It has to be a decision of something that he wants to do. That's a lot to go through for both of those guys tonight.
Right.
I mean, would I be shocked and surprised if Fury said, hey, you know what? I beat Wilder, he's one of the best guys ever. I had enough of this. No, I wouldn't.
Right.
On the other side of that, I believe that Wilder can be champion again. He can be a world champion again. You know, we can all be critical after the fight is over with. Right now, I just want him to, you know, get healthy and get back, you know, to his family. That's it.
Now, you got a big fight coming up.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Huge fight.
That's huge. I say that has Fight of the Year written all over it. I'm hard-pressed to see any other fight supersede that. Now, we saw a big fight tonight, heavyweight division. But any other fight, I don't see this year or in the foreseeable future surpassing Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford because of the styles. What you think about that?
I think the fight he had against Errol Spence was a fight of the year. The fight he had against Keith Thurman was a fight of the year. You know what I mean? Going into this fight right here, I was watching these guys tonight, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, obviously Shawn and Terence are going to be more skillful, and they're going to have more energy because of the weight, you know, being in a lower weight class. But I see more excitement, even in our fight coming up, than what we saw tonight. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, you know, these guys was like two Big Mac trucks out here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then Shawn and Terence are more like, you know, Porsches and Maseratis.
Right.
You know, we moving a lot. So when they come back to the corner and get information from us and come back out, they already got their foots on the gas pedal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I see fight of the year. I wish I could get somebody to rematch this. I mean, nobody going into any fight, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, Kell Brook, nobody going to any fight with Shawn Porter will accept a 2-fight deal. Nobody will accept one. So if you got a Keith Thurman fight of the year, if you got an Errol Spence fight of the year, and you predicting that you're probably looking at fight of the year with Terence Crawford, why can't we just go ahead and do a 2-fight deal? You know what I mean? I don't think it's like, you know, we can't get anybody to step in there with us twice. You know, we're gonna bring it, and I'm hoping that, you know, against everything that we do, you know, we come out on the top end of this deal. We coming out on the top end of the deal, I want to fight him again. Shawn wins November 20th. I want to fight Terence again. This is how these guys become great. I think these two guys right here solidified themselves as Hall of Famers tonight. That's how they became great. They made each other great. You're probably not going to remember a lot of the other guys that Deontay fought or a lot of the other guys that Fury fought. But you definitely know that these fights that they had tonight were instant, immediate, classic fights. And they made each other great. And that's what I want for Shawn and Terence. You know, I want that. So we get the victory. I want a rematch. I'm giving the kid the rematch. We got to take the victory, obviously, but I want a rematch. I want my kid to be in those type of fights. You know what I mean? So there you have it for me.
Now you know Terence Crawford since he was a young pup. And obviously
always been a dog.
And you obviously know Shawn, that's your son. What is it about Terence Crawford that makes him so great, and what do you have to take away from him, seeing though he could switch from southpaw to orthodox so fluid?
I think a big part of what makes Terence great is his intelligence and also his inner fire, the fire he has inside of him. You know, he's just flat out, where we come from, you come from, he's a dog.
You know
what I mean? He said it today in a press conference. He said, you push, I'm pushing back. He ain't taking no step back. You know what I mean? And we know that. So, you know, when I had a couple of questions posed to me, what do we do different? I decided today, when those questions came to me, and I'm making a conscious decision talking to you right now, every day we're going to do more than we did the day before. Every day I'm going to push my coaches, I'm going to push Shawn, I'm going to push myself to find a way to be better than we were the day before. Even if yesterday we had a great sparring session, or yesterday we had a great trap workout, or we had a great swim workout, tomorrow I'm gonna act like we didn't do shit, and let's get this right back all over again, because we're gonna need that November the 20th. And we're gonna have to dig deep to pull that out. But if we prepare the way Shawn has already been preparing, wow, right now we've been having an excellent camp. He's been easily between 12 and 15 pounds of the fight weight.
Wow.
You know, you saw how he looked today. His conditioning and his work ethic, and even his mental aspects of what we've been doing has been at a high level, but we're going to turn it up even higher.
Now, like you said, Shawn is already in training camp. I personally never saw Shawn out of shape. I don't know what an out of shape Shawn Porter looks like. So you said he's already in camp and he's already training. Shawn Porter he defies the physics of people say you overtrain, right? Because I never see him out of shape, and he's always able to push.
Overtraining, and people saying to overtrain, this is my opinion, is a myth. Because if you're running and your leg starts to hurt, you stop running. Do you go out the next day and do the same kind of workout? No, my leg was hurting. Why would you continue to do that same type of workout? If you're hitting a bag and you hurt a knuckle, why would you keep hitting the bag and continue to hurt the knuckle? So what I'm saying in that sense is, it's a myth, it's an excuse. If we have any type of injury, or our back is hurting or anything like that, we go get massages, we do cryogenics, we do hot yoga, We do everything. We eat the right foods and vegetables and the vitamins and the minerals. We do everything we can to replenish our body to go back and work. If we need to take a couple of days off, we do. And just so you know, when Shawn is at peak condition, which is where he's at now, he only trains 4 days a week.
Wow.
So 3 days a week, he doesn't even work out.
Wow. It's just all recovery?
Usually that Saturday is yoga for him. Sunday, obviously, is worship in church, that type of thing. But Friday, he might want to ride a bike. I let him ride a bike. It's not much, you know what I mean, if that's what he wants to do. But normally, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, he's off. So he's at that peak condition right now. I don't even have to work him on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. He only spars twice a week.
Wow.
The guy told me last week, I brought him in to spar. He said, we spar 3 days a week. I said, why? He said, that's what we do. But everybody does things differently.
Right.
And I figured out how to get my kid and my other guys there. A young man I'm working with now, Malik Montgomery, a few weeks ago, averaging about 95 to 97 punches around. He works out 4 days a week.
Wow.
That's it.
Now, speaking of that, I saw Shawn, he said that you may want to, on his podcast, he said you may want to bring his workload down, going from 95 punches around. He said you may want to bring his workload down. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because I want more defense. I want more defense. And I knew, and I'll go ahead and say it now, I knew going into that fight, we didn't have time to work on defense. We didn't have time to work on defense because we only had 3 weeks prior to the fight to get ready, prepare for the fight.
Right.
But he'd been training with me for the last year.
Right.
But in between the last fight to this fight, he got the COVID, he got sick. When he got to the fight site, he didn't show no symptoms. When he got there, they said, hey, you tested positive, you're not fighting tonight. So they pulled him off the card. He sat down for like 2.5 weeks, came back to me with 3 weeks to get ready for the fight, and God bless that kid. He threw all those punches. But I knew in that 3-week period of time, I didn't have time to work on defense.
Right.
Defense is it takes a lot of days. You need months to work on defense.
Right.
You can't just say, I'm fighting in 3 weeks, so we're going to take 3 or 4 days this week to work on defense. Because if you take 3 or 4 days to work on defense this week, you're not sparring at all, right?
Right.
You're working on defense. Now you got 2 weeks prior to the fight, and you done took away from that what you need to win the fight. Right. We know the defense is not going to win the fight for us.
Right.
We know the offense would. And so we worked on the offense, and he was able to pull it out.
I appreciate you, Kenny, man.
I appreciate
you, brother.
Good to see you, man.
You too, all the time.
Yes.
Now, just let the people know where they can find you, fans and things of that nature, and what else you got, other fighters other than Shawn.
You can find me on the Instagram and the Facebook, Kenny Porter on the Facebook. The Instagram, the IG is Porter High Performance with an HY. Then I got, obviously, we got Shawn Porter November 20th at the Mandalay Bay. We've got Hendry Cedeno Martinez, La Bazooka, he's 4-0, 3 knockouts. We've got Malik Montgomery, NABO, 126-pound champion. He's 11-0 with 10 knockouts. And that's at Malik Mayhem Montgomery on Instagram. And then we got his brother, who is 3-0, and his name is Mikael Montgomery, and his IG is 50Cal Montgomery. So we're working hard, man. I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate you.
Contact me if you want to come to camp or something, man.
Oh, for sure.
Get out here.
For sure. I appreciate you.